Hello supply chain friends. So since I posted my videos on the top 5 free supply chain courses, the top 5 free procurement courses, and the top 5 supply chain certifications, I got almost 300 plus questions from all of you just about supply chain courses. And one of the most commonly asked questions was, what about logistics? If you want to work in a warehouse or transportation management, what are some of the free courses that we can get our hands on? So in this video, I will cover with you the top 5 free logistics courses, and the links for each of these courses is in the description of this video. My name is Jamil Hai, and I've been working in supply chain management positions across South Asia, Middle East, and North America for more than 2 decades. And my mission is to help supply chain professionals like you build real life skills for your job and career that they don't teach you in college. And if you are preparing for a supply chain job interview anytime soon, you should definitely book a session with me, because I'm going to take your resume, the job description you're applying for, and based on a combination of those two and my 2 decades of experience, will give you some laser guided tips and tricks which will maximize your chances of success. So go ahead now and book your session. So on number 5, I've got Alison, and they've got a course called Warehouse Management, Inventory, Stock, and Supply Chains. This is a 1.5 to 3 hour course, and you will learn the basics of inventory, stock, and a general overview of supply chains. They cover things like the basic inventory management and tracking methods, defining stock, comparing storage methods, describing the warehousing layout, analyzing ways of reducing inventory, describe how to choose a warehouse management software, which is a very important topic, which I've also covered in a lot of details in my video on supply chain systems, which you can watch by clicking over here. And then they also have covered identify how to optimize the supply chain and some troubleshooting techniques. If you look at the modules of this course, that covers in module 1, managing warehousing inventory. Module 2 is about controlling, verifying, and reporting stock. Module 3 is inventory and supply chain in a warehouse. And now one thing I want to call out here is that one of the reasons why I've put this course in my top 5 is that inventory accuracy in a warehouse and inventory management in a warehouse is not only a good supply chain practice, it's also a very critical financial measure. I've covered this KPI called IRA, which stands for Inventory Record Accuracy, in my video on supply chain KPIs. I'm going to put the link of that here as well. And IRA is so important because imagine if your physical inventory is showing that you have $10 million of inventory, but your system or your ERP is showing that you have $11 million of inventory, right? In that case, you have got a $1 million write-off risk on your inventory. That's a massive, massive issue. So therefore, there is a lot of focus on the inventory accuracy, how to do cycle counts, how to do physical counts. Nowadays, companies are using a lot of advanced technology like drones, like robots, to do these inventory counts more frequently and more accurately, because each time your inventory in the warehouse and that in the system varies, you are talking about a significant financial risk. On number 4, I've got Udemy, and they have a course called Introduction to Customs Classification. Now, this is an important course, and it may not feel like it's directly linked to logistics, but customs clearance and knowledge of customs laws is not only important in the world of logistics, but now where we are talking more and more about tariffs again, this knowledge is becoming paramount. One of the interesting things I came across recently was Canada just posted their September jobs report, and surprisingly, there was a significant increase in employment, and that was driven by manufacturing. And if you just go a little bit deeper into the data, you will see that jobs which require regulatory knowledge, jobs which require customs knowledge, are more in demand, because now companies want to hire people who are very knowledgeable in the area of customs and tariffs, because they need to know how, let's say tomorrow the tariff becomes 25% from 15%, or it changes to any other number, how are they going to deal with that? And this is a very good course that will give you the foundation around these things, especially something called the HS code. Now, what is an HS code? HS code basically stands for Harmonized Systems Code, and it is the universal way in which different customs unions talk to each other. These HS codes were developed by World Customs Union around in 1988, and the idea was that if different countries are trading items, how do they create a common language between them, right? So if I am, for instance, Brazil, and I'm exporting coffee to Canada or the United States, how do the two customs union talk to each other. And since I mentioned coffee, let's look at the example of decaffeinated coffee, where we can understand these HS codes. So for example, the HS code of decaffeinated coffee is 0901.12.00.15. Now, what do all these numbers mean? So this is a very standardized number system or nomenclature on how these different products are classified in these HS codes. So for example, in this case, 09 stands for coffee, tea. So anything which is in this product family will be starting with 09. The second two digits are 01 in this case, which then basically zooms into, okay, this is just coffee. It could be roasted, it could be unroasted, it could be decaffeinated, whatever. The third number after the dots is 12, which is the subheading, which is basically saying that this product is coffee, but it's not roasted coffee. So roasted coffee may have a different code. Then you have got the next two digits with 00, which is the tariff rate lines. In this case, it shows it's decaffeinated. And then finally, you've got the statistical suffix, which is 15, which shows it's a certified organic coffee. So you can clearly see that it provides that common language of how you can define products in a tariff schedule. And then accordingly, when you look at the tariff schedule, which you can see a sample here, you would see that, okay, if this is the HS code and this is the description of the product, then here is the set of tariffs or the duties that will apply to it. Now this graphic shows you free, but I think coffee is no longer tariff free in the US. On number 3, I've got Alison again, but this time they have got a much longer course. This is a diploma in warehouse management course. It's about 10 to 15 hours long. So it's amazing that Alison is offering a free diploma, which is a golden opportunity for people to get their hands on it. Now I know attending the course on Alison is free, but I think getting a certification, you have to probably pay something. So just be careful about that. I get a lot of these questions. So, but if your intent is just to gain knowledge about the subject, you can absolutely access this course. Now, the Diploma of Warehouse Management covers things like the roles of warehouse in modern supply chains, identify the challenges in most warehouse managers face. And by the way, warehousing is one of the fastest growing industries, at least in North America. I did post something on LinkedIn a few months ago where I had put some statistics on how fast the logistics and the warehouse industry especially is growing in the United States, thanks to e-commerce, thanks to companies like Amazon, which are really bringing the importance of this field front and center. So that is why this diploma is also very useful. And then it discusses the basic principles of logistics and outsourcing, explain the processes and procedures behind dispatching goods, defining picking, and describe the role of picking in supply chain. And then it also covers things like the different categories of warehouse costs and so on. So it also gives you a little bit of that flavor on the warehouse costing side, which is famously known as LCC or logistics conversion cost. Some companies call it FPLC, finished product logistics cost. Some companies, depending on what kind of materials you are holding in the warehouse. So, but the cost aspect in warehouse management is also very important, and it's covered in this course. Now, number 2, I've got Great Learning, and they have got a course called Logistics Management. This is almost a 2.25 hours long course. And this is also for beginners. So if you are new to logistics management, this is a great free course you can access. And it covers things like introduction to logistics management, network designing, what is logistics management, benefits of logistics management, elements of logistics, factors influencing logistics network, and the 7 R's of logistics management, which is a very interesting and important topic. One of the good things about Great Learning is that although the courses are free, but if you want to get a certificate, so at the end of the course, let's say you pass their post-course assessment and you now want to get a certificate as well, you can then pay a small amount of $9 and get a certificate as well. So not only they're giving you access to the course for free, but if you have completed the course successfully and you have passed the exam or whatever, so then you can also get the certification as well. And finally, on number 1, I've got the Rutgers University course on Coursera. This is a course called Supply Chain Logistics. It's about 9 hours long. It has got about 4 modules, including the final exam. One of the reasons I am putting this course on number 1 is Rutgers is one of the leading supply chain undergrad universities in America. In 2024, Gartner published a list of the top supply chain universities, and you can see here that Rutgers was one amongst the top 5 universities. So it's a great opportunity that they are offering this course for free. Now, there is a little bit of a catch here. This course is free, but you have to be careful because Coursera provides you a 7-day free trial. That is how this course becomes free. So what you need to do is access this course and try to finish this course within 7 days. Otherwise, you will be forced to pay. So make sure that the course is 9 hours long. So try to find a week when you can take out 9 hours either continuously or within the week so that you can finish. Otherwise, if you say that, oh, I've completed this 3-hour module and now I'm going to complete the next 6 hours 2 months later, this won't be free for you. So make sure that you are organizing yourself properly to get benefits from this course. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've also made videos on topics like how to impress the HR manager in a supply chain job interview and how to earn $50,000 in a supply chain job without experience, which you can watch by clicking over here. Keep watching.